Roundy here, and in case you haven't heard, I'm going to be having a back-to-school marathon event stream this coming Friday, August 1st, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central. Most of the time, I am teaching high school English, but my summer vacations are my time, and I like to spend them streaming. And often around this time of year, teachers will put their wish lists on social media to kind of get some help stocking their classrooms. I like to always be getting new books for my classroom library and getting the kids quality of life supplies that just make being in a classroom just that much easier. So I decided to combine the two this year. I have put my wish list out there on social media in previous years, and I've had some success with that. But this year was the first year that I thought to combine it with streaming to make it a big event. So there will be ways to donate funds directly to help me get those things, or you can buy those items directly from the wish list, or you don't have to do any of that. You can just come in, hang out, and have a good time. Pop in, pop out whenever you're able, all that. But it'll be 12 hours of chaos. 12 hours of chaos that is basically going to encompass anything that has ever been a part of the Round the Wheel brand at any point in God knows how many years of making online video game stuff. 15, 16 years. Basically anything that has ever been part of my brand will be part of this stream. And I promised today I would release the itinerary. I promised on July 30th that the itinerary for that back to school marathon would be released. So here it is. We're going to get started at around 10 a.m., let people filter in, explain once more what's going on, and just kind of get broken in. It'll be a real quick to do. Once I feel that we're ready to get started, we will do what is usually a once or twice a year thing for me, a run of Metroid 2. It is not the best Metroid game, but it is my sentimental favorite. And I've never played it in color before. I only recently learned that there was a colorized ROM hack of it. So this will be the first time I'll be playing Metroid 2 in color. I did crack it open for just a second to make sure it works just fine. And even the few seconds that I played were very impressive. So I'm looking forward to that. My first ever colorized run of Metroid 2. It's something I do once or twice a year just to make sure I still have the juice, just to make sure I'm still capable of doing it. So there you go. And then after that, we're going to have the first of 3 wheel spins throughout the day. This one is going to be the Lemmings spin. Lemmings, of course, a long time part of my brand. A lot of my best successes have been attached to Lemmings. So we're going to do a Lemmings wheel spin about 12 o'clock. There are 28 spaces on that wheel, and each one represents a custom Lemmings level pack that I have never played before. So we're going to be doing some new unexplored Lemmings for about 90 minutes or so. And I wanted to do this wheel spin later in the day, but I wanted the kinds of people who are into Lemmings to be able to catch it. Which is to say, a lot of Lemmings fans are from like the United Kingdom and Europe and around that area. So I wanted to be able to do this at a time when they would be able to watch. So that's why we're doing it at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to work out to about 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time for a lot of Lemmings fans, give or take an hour or so. So I wanted them to be able to watch it. And so that's why we're doing that wheel spin first. It's a little bit more of a niche wheel spin, but so ordinarily I would have saved it for later. But because of how Lemmings fandom works with certain time zones, we're doing that one first. We'll do that for about 90 minutes, and then we'll have a just chatting lunch break, just so I'm not, stuck playing, I'm not stuck in a chair all day. I think streaming as much as I have this summer is giving me some lumbar problems, believe it or not. So that's going to give me a chance to get up and stretch and all that stuff. And we'll just talk during that time. People can still hang out, do whatever. You can ask me. Well, maybe we can make it a little Ask Me Anything segment. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows who's even going to be watching around that time? At 2 o'clock, we're going to do a randomizer. It's going to be Super Mario Bros. 2 Boss Hunter. This is one of my favorite randomizers to just pick up and play, create a seed, You go through the various areas of Super Mario Brothers 2, and they are randomized from room to room, from door to door, and you go around looking for the 7 bosses to defeat them uh, throughout the game. I'm giving myself an hour and a half for that because it's very hard to find those 7 bosses, and that's not even if you leave the doors all unlocked. Uh, Sometimes the boss doors have to be opened with a key. You can set it to do that. And that is a challenge all its own. But it's hard enough to find the 7 bosses as it is because there are so many branching paths. But I think it's an interesting randomizer and I think it's worth showing off. After the Super Mario Bros. 2 Boss Hunter randomizer, we're going to do a Genesis wheel spin. We're going to play a random Genesis game. I have made that wheel already. There are 488 spaces on that wheel. And we are going to play maybe one Genesis game, maybe a few. Who knows? But there are tons of different kinds of games on that list. There are platformers. There are sports games. There are racing games. There are, the Genesis was not a very RPG heavy system, but there are even RPGs on that list. There are games that people love. There are games that people hate. There are good games. There are bad games. And everything in between. Who knows what we're going to be playing, but the odds of something getting spun are 1 in 488. So whatever game we spin that day is going to be a lucky, lucky game. It is missing some titles. I didn't want to put anything on there that I am overly familiar with. Like a lot of Sonic games are not on there. Echo the Dolphin is not on there. Echo 2 is, though. So anything that I am overly familiar with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, is not on that list. So it's going to be something pretty much all new to me, in all likelihood. Or at the very most, only glancing familiarity. After we play around with the Genesis for about an hour and a half, we will be moving on to the Star Trek segment. I'm a big Star Trek fan, as people know. I have these cards here. I have 4 packs of cards. My brother bought these for me years ago. He was at some kind of trading card expo that was being held locally, and he found these packs and thought I would enjoy them, and I've never cracked them. We have 2 packs of Skybox cards from Star Trek The Next Generation Season 5, and we have 2 packs of trading cards celebrating Star Trek's 25th anniversary. These are marked Series 2. So we've got some Next Generation and we've got some original series cards to crack. But we're going to do the Next Generation cards first, and then we're going to do the 25th anniversary cards, because that is going to segue into actually playing 25th anniversary, which is a game I think people have wanted to see me play for a very long time. Whether on my YouTube channel, whether streaming, and I've always kind of begged it off. But we will play at least 90 minutes of it. It is a great game. It's the one for the PC, the point-and-click adventure that preceded Judgment Rights, made by Interplay. Great game. Not as great as Judgment Rights, but still a great game in its own right. And we're gonna explore the final frontier for a while, for about 90 minutes in any event, because after that it will be getting about dinner time. So we're gonna move on. This is called the Crappy Food Critic. If you have never been around for this, then you are in for a treat. I only did one of these segments on YouTube, and it was like 14 years ago. I think it was 2011. I tried some Blair's Death Rain habanero kettle chips on stream, or not on stream. It wouldn't have been streaming at the time. It would have just been YouTube. But it was a very, very long time ago, and I meant for it to be a continuing thing, but you know how intentions work. So basically, it's a thing where I try some food on camera. I already have the food item I'm going to be eating. If you're on the Discord, you've already gotten kind of a peek at what that is. I'm not going to reveal that here, but we are going to do some for lack of a better word, mukbang. Some social eating, some social trying out of a thing. It's going to be a great time. We're going to do that for about 15 minutes or so. Try that out. That's going to be my dinner. And after that, after we get some dinner in our bellies, we're going to go to the final wheel spin of the night. the Super Nintendo. That wheel is still in construction as we speak, but it's at 300 some odd spaces, and I'm on the games that have Super in the titles, so there's a good chance that wheel could be as big as or even bigger than the Genesis wheel. Who knows, though? Same deal, lots of random stuff from all kinds of genres. Who knows what the heck we're going to be looking at, but it's going to be a grand old time. And then at 8:30 for the last event of the night, we will play the highest donor's choice. If you donate money during the stream, anything donated before 8:30 will be factored into this, but the person who gives the most money to Uncle Roundy's classroom will get to choose a game that I play. Within reason, make sure it's not something I can't handle. Try to make it something that would be a nice little hour and a half-ish, maybe an hour or so kind of play. But I will put myself at the whim of that particular person, whoever that is. So just a little incentive. If you want to see something played on camera, maybe chuck a few bucks at me and see if it doesn't work out in your favor. See if you don't get to pick the game I play at the end of the night. And then that is going to be our last event. And after that, we will wrap things up. I will give my thank yous and acknowledgments. And that's going to be the deal. So about 12 hours, give or take, of good old fashioned game playing shenanigans. One last hurrah to see the summer out. There will still be probably a trailing handful of streams after this, but once the school year gets started in earnest, I will be going mostly dormant. The best way to get told if I stream is to follow on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch, or follow on Twitch, and make sure that you're notified when I stream. Because it's not a regular occurrence in months that are not June or July. So that is the plan. That is the itinerary. And once again, that is the Round the Wheel Back to School event stream. It is going to be this Friday. Starts at 10 a.m., starts at 10 p.m. You can pop in and pop out as you please, or you can watch the whole thing. I don't care. You can come in, you can donate a little, you can donate a lot, or you can donate nothing. You can just bask in the chaos. Who cares? Do you. Do what you want. But that's what's happening this Friday. I hope to see a ton of people passing through, having a good time, and we will get that cracking. So now that you know what's on the table, hopefully you are anticipating it with bated breath. I know I am. I'll see you there.